Trigger warning is the name of the movie we're watching. Right away, we meet our protagonist, Parker, a special forces operative with a proclivity for knives. On her way back from another successful stabbing mission, she gets a phone call from her hometown sheriff. He delivers the heartbreaking news that her father died in a mine collapse. She goes home to meet Sheriff Jesse, who it turns out was also her old high school boyfriend. He drops her off at the bar her dad lived in, and immediately that night an intruder busts in. He almost catches a stabbing, but it turns out it's just her dad's iguana feeder, Mike. He's also the one who found her dad's body, so he's going to take her to the mine, which is 15 feet away apparently. They get to the site of her father's death, and just from glancing at the rocks, Parker determines that the cave-in must have been caused by a grenade. She then confirms her theory by chucking her own grenade at a rock.
Is that the grenade?
That's science, baby. Back at the bar later, we meet Elvis, her ex-boyfriend's brother. Now, if you don't know whether or not you're supposed to like Mullet Man, don't worry. He's just immediately going to sprinkle in some racism, sexism, and light assault for good measure. Oh my, I do wonder if he's going to be a bad guy. The next day, near the mine, she notices some massive explosions going off. Turns out it's our boy Elvis blowing up a taco truck with a bazooka. That is not a joke. Parker discovers that he's been stealing military equipment to sell on the black market. She figures this out because he's doing it out in the open about 20 feet away from her truck. The buyer is generic movie bad guy with a goatee. Just look at that toothpick. You see how bad he is? Later that evening, Sheriff Jesse and Parker reconnect and rebang. But it's all a ruse so she can steal his access badge and break into the sheriff's station. She hops on her Huffy and pedals as fast as she can into the night. She's breaking in to steal evidence from the mine collapse case file. Now back at the mine, Parker finds Elvis and his henchmen in her father's hangout spot. So here comes Knifey. She methodically interrogates Elvis about his involvement in her father's death. But remember, he's the sheriff's brother, so now she's going to jail. Back at the jail, we learn the whole story. Elvis, Jesse, and their father, the senator, are all selling stolen army weapons on the black market. They smuggle the weapons from the base through the mines, and when Parker's father caught them, Sheriff Jesse shot him in the back and tried to cover it up with the cave-in.
I think we're stacking crimes pretty high today.
Simple enough, let's move on. Parker's figured this all out, so the obvious next step is to torture her. But naturally, she makes a daring escape and drives off in the sheriff's truck. Now it's time for a nap at the wheel, which results in her crashing off screen because that crap is expensive. She gets picked up and nursed back to health in Mike's underground marijuana factory. Don't worry, that's irrelevant. Now it's time to plot revenge. Lucky enough, she has a few old family and friend connections who are gonna hook her up with guns. But we know what she really wants. Now it's off to the mine for her day of reckoning. She comes in gun drawn, but the urge is just too great. Stab. Slice. Stab. Double. Stab. Face slice. Stab. Stab. Who's next? Oh, here comes Elvis. How's this gonna end? Did you guess? Stab. Oh, one's not enough. Have another. Stab! Now it's time to settle the score with Sheriff Jesse, so she continues on. Gun drawn and at the ready, but who is she kidding? The mine dumps her out onto the army base, but Parker will not be dissuaded. She enters stealth mode and continues the hunt. She finds Jesse and attacks. Would you like to guess how it ends? If you guessed, oh snap. Okay, that one was a bit of a curveball, but sorry, no points, you lose. Well, now we get our happily ever after. And one last easy joke. Here we go. Trigger warning, more like stabber warning, am I right?
Ha ha!
Alright, now get out of here.